Good to be with you again. Good to see you again. Today I want to share with you some reflections on the flow of thought in some verses from the Sermon on the Mount, beginning with chapter 7, verse 1. Do not judge so that you may not be judged. For with the judgment you make, you will be judged, and the measure you give will be the measure you get. Why do you see the speck in your brother's eye, or your sibling's eye if you prefer, but do not notice the log in your own eye? Or how can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, while the log is in your own eye? You hypocrite, first take the log out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to take the speck out of your brother's eye. That was the first part. Now listen to the next. And let us pause for a moment to notice how easy it is to be judgmental and how hard it can be to get rid of that tendency. Then we go on. Do not give what is holy to dogs, and do not throw your pearls before swine, or they will trample them underfoot and turn and maul you. And here there seems to be a contradiction. Do not judge, and then Jesus is talking about dogs and swine, using those terms to refer to people. You know, do we have just random disconnected thoughts that aren't in very good harmony here? Or is Jesus, by juxtaposing these two just closely like this, one after the other, challenging us to make a distinction and figure it out? This judgmental attitude there's a prideful superiority about that. There's an anger and a contempt that's inconsistent with our basic equality before God. That's like judging souls. Or it's a kind of judgment that is not what is meant in the second teaching. Do not give what is holy to dogs, do not go to the pearls before swine, or they will trample them underfoot and turn and maul you. This teaching is about street smarts. It's about recognizing that there are some spiritual truths that other people just are not open to. Your pearls are your truths. And some people are antagonistic, and dangerously so, whether it be in cyberspace or, you know. And let's understand, around the world today, Christians experience persecution, not everywhere, but many places. Sometimes it's in conversation, sometimes da-da-da-da-da-da. But if we understand that there is an attitude, a prideful, ugly kind of contempt and critique that spiritually we don't want to be a part of, but we're also asked to understand that in this rough and tumble evolutionary environment that we're in right now, we, just like in the first century, we need to be clever, to be smart, to use our intelligence, to be wise. All right, so suppose you make that distinction and you're still saying, well, how can, how can I avoid being judgmental? Well, it seems to me this is the, you know, whatever we may be struggling with in terms of a personal growth need, the next paragraph speaks to that. I can talk about paragraphs that were not there in the original Greek. Okay, ask and it will be given you. Search and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened for you. For everyone who asks receives, and everyone who searches finds. And for everyone who knocks, the door will be opened. Is there anyone among you who, if your child asks for bread, will give a stone? Or if the child asks for a fish, will give a snake? If you then, who are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good things to those who ask him? In other words, whatever growth need we're struggling with today, I've already got mine. Put in a support ticket for transformation on one or two things this morning already. Judgmental was not one of them, but it may be on the list by the end of the day. But we can ask. We can ask for the transformation. We can believe and rejoice in what Jesus, Spirit of Truth, is there to do within us. And in the light of that transformation, then we're ready to relate to others. The last verse here in this sequence, in everything, do to others as you would have them do to you. For this is the law and the prophets. So this golden rule attitude of treating others the way we want others to treat us, whether it's on the subtle level, the inner, the level in the inward life of being judgmental, or something in the outward life, which we're maybe failing to do, failing to be of service wholeheartedly, and the huge family of God spread out across this world, billions and billions of us. These are the teachings that will enable us to have an inner life that is illuminated by the worship of God and outwardly devoted to the wholehearted service of God's family throughout our world. Good day.